what's good, everybody? It's your boy Philly Flexer back in the building again today. You know, hold on, gotta do the ceremonial. Take that sip of the, you know what I'm saying, the sip of the day. Don't ask what's in the cup. But anyways, you know, we always do this anime stuff up over here and all that right there. I don't know, some people been asking me to kind of do more music stuff and all here. I might get back to that. But anyways, today, I found a new video, a new channel called Thundergod, and the title of the video just intrigued the hell out of me. So I was like, hey, I gotta watch this, make a video on this one and whatnot, see what's going on. It's called Could Mr. Satan Solo the Bakiverse? Come on now, I don't know about all that and whatnot, but I want to go ahead and watch the video and whatnot, see what he's talking about, see if he makes a case for it, or see if he just craps all over him and whatnot. I don't know, man, but here we go, man. Let's go ahead and hop into it and whatnot. Link to the original video will be down below. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go show them some love.
Guys, TG or Thundergod here. Got a pretty interesting video. Today I'm going to be taking the peak human from the Dragon Ball series. Wait, bro isn't even. Hold up. I'm going to be taking one of the strongest humans. No, he's not that either. Where's bro's PR team? Today I'm going to be looking at Mr. Saiyan or Hercule, the world champion in Dragon Ball, and seeing how far he would get in Baki. Is this like average fighter in Dragon Ball just gonna slam through and solo the entirety of the verse? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Don't you worry about me. I'm a master of martial arts, and I'm also packing some serious heat.
Starting off, we need to establish a bit of scaling for Mr. Satan and just straight up compare that to a lot of the stuff in the Bakiverse. Starting with speed, some of Mr. Satan's better feats are among him dodging and outracing missiles. These weapons obviously aren't standard issue in Dragon Ball, but let's just say, for example, use an RPG-7. The most widely used anti-armor weapon in the world, currently around 40 countries are using the weapon, which has a top speed of 294 meters per second, or, you know, 657 miles per hour. Now, this is obviously not an exact measurement, as this isn't a one-to-one, but it does give us a decent idea. Mr. Satan's more than likely around the Mach 1 range, which Mach 1 being 767.269.
We're throwing out a lot of numbers right now, but in layman's terms, we're saying Hercule can outrun missiles and stuff like that. So that means he has amazing speed.
Miles per hour essentially allows a little wiggle room, even if this isn't the exact model or speed of the rocket launcher. It also doesn't really change anything if you have it like, you know, 800 miles per hour or just above the Mach 1 range, like maybe even diving to Mach 2. It doesn't really change anything about the discussion, so you can even be more generous, but just figured I'd give us a baseline. It would also be consistent that Mr. Saiyan isn't massively above this speed, as he also did just die to a handgun. The exact model of the handgun is near impossible to say, but handguns can range from 600, 800 to, even if you have like a 500 SNW mag, 1,300 miles per hour. So again, he's in the correct speed range here. If you kind of want to wiggle him around, that's fine, but this is generally where he lies. The only higher metas you can maybe argue for Mr.
Not the video game.
Saiyan in terms of speed is if you take him dodging Kid Boo's attacks hyper literally, which was extended by the anime. Considering Mr. Saiyan, again, just gets hit by bullets, so either like Kid Buu is bullet speed, or this is just one of those things Toriyama wasn't really thinking about logistics wise, which does happen a bit in Dragon Ball. An example being when
I don't think he was writing and thinking, let's compare him to other humans in other universes and whatnot. It's just he was supposed to be a dude who was supposed to be a good martial artist, a strong dude or whatnot in the Dragon Ball Z world, but you don't even know what's really out there, my guy.
Goku and Gas are using instant transmission to fly around like over the universe from planet to planet, and like Gas can't dodge a truck dumping garbage on him. Like, is he that slow? No, obviously not. The Dragon Ball metas are insanely fast, so clearly you wouldn't want to take these outliers. It's more the consistent stuff that you would generally take. And I'll even touch on like why Mr. Satan being that fast may not even give him an inherent win. Barring the Kid Buu stuff, comparing this to Baki, Katsumi was able to deliver a Mach punch, and this was just outright stated to be a Mach speed punch even as far back as Grappler Baki, with pretty much all of the main cast, aside from a few exceptions like Hanayama, being in a constant state of improvement, with Katsumi himself improving upon this technique. It essentially makes it very easy for a lot of Baki characters to just outright surpass like this transonic speed or like this Mach 1 speed that Hercule kind of stands around. Even feats like Mr. Satan just beating up casual humans and like blitzing them at close quarters, just moving too fast for them to counterattack, isn't really that outlandish for Baki characters. Like, that's very consistent. And a lot of Baki characters actually have better feats where even from long distances, they can just move faster than the average eye can see. There's many calcs backing this up. Yujiro does it against some policemen. Baki does it many times in the series. For example, some against some high schoolers. It's nothing too crazy on that front. So
we already saying they matching the speed. And I can see that. Because you're still trying to make them as normal humans, but at the same time, they're like ultra humans. And Mr. Satan in his world was kind of like an ultra human. He's not no curling or nothing like that or whatnot, but just doing stuff normal, not knowing about key blasts and not here or whatnot. Come on now.
From a speed category, literally the way I want you to envision is that the entire Bakiverse is just like kind of similar to Dragon Ball, where they're always training and getting stronger. And from like a pre-time skip, they're kind of using Mr. Satan as like a benchmark and just improve off that. There's even examples of Baki kind of performing similar feats where he's just dodging bullets. Now, that doesn't mean like, oh, he's just, you know, outright faster than the bullets. But there is a panel where 3 people are just armed and looking at him. They fire the shot and Baki's gone. So if you even want to argue like Baki just aim dodged, he just completely disappeared. And it's still more of an impressive feat than Mr. Satan, who just kind of died close quarters. But again, doesn't really matter. Baki characters just scale up from this massively, massively. Not even discussing calcs or anything of the nature, which there are a multitude of Baki calcs that just put them easily in the Mach 30 range, which is far above what Mr. Satan would be at.
Okay.
Again, potentially barring the Kid Buu stuff, which if you take hyper literally, he's just going to be blitzing the entirety of the Bakiverse. But again, I will talk about why that doesn't necessarily change too much in a second. Let's talk about strength and durability, because this also matters quite a bit. A very consistent range for Mr. Satan is just wall level. This is consistent with a lot of attacks he gets hit by, you know, casually getting slapped by Kid Trunks. A lot of people might quote him surviving Perfect Cell's hit, but a good example of how you can view somebody like Mr. Satan and compare him to somebody like Yujiro is based on the respective Kawara smashes, which for anyone who's unfamiliar is a way of testing your martial arts by smashing tiles. This being a straining activity for Mr. Satan, who smashes a measly 10, could be a couple more if you argue, you know, the panda some
14,
or anything like that.
Okay.
Compared to Yujiro, who casually smashes 40. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's night and day. It's night.
No, that's night and day. Get up out of here. It's not a question if Hercule would solo the universe. It's more now we're in the talk of, well, how far up could he be or whatnot? Like, how far could he really be in the Baki universe? And by the way, he's talking to us right now. It's like in some moments it sounds like he might be able to hang in there, but and sometimes it's like, nah, bro, you wear your league over here.
Much more casual feat.
He's not beating up
maybe the tiles are
Biscuit or Yujiro or
just assuming they're similar, it's a way more impressive feat for Yujiro and should give you kind of an idea.
I'm trying to remember the one dude.
This being,
I can't remember his name right now. Dude who always wore the suit. Who fought Jack Hammer in the phone booth. You know what I'm talking about.
Base Yujiro and a casual feat again. In most of the high tiers in Baki, like Pickle, Baki, Musashi, and like other juggernauts who can contend on a physical level, are performing and just scaling to these type of feats casually. And this is even getting up into like some of the crazier stuff for Baki. For example, like Yujiro just shaking an entire building with his aura alone, which has been calced way beyond like the wall level that Mr. Satan has kind of exhibited with no real higher ends in sight. Even if you looked at feats like Hercule pulling 4 buses, physical juggernauts in Baki can just survive getting rammed into by trucks and just break them or just slice them in two casually. So, and this is just pure lifting strength. There's like, which isn't even that crazy in the context of Baki, as you have someone like Oliva who has a workout plan of just pulling a helicopter down while it's in the air resisting him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even this feat isn't that crazy. They're just performing far better strength feats. This, again, being mainly the top tiers. And this is a problem for Mr. Satan because a lot of Baki characters, again, mainly the top tiers, are just going to be outright too durable for him to even damage. So you have characters like Pickle, for example, who was just shot 3 times, like at his chest and was fine. Like he's like minorly bleeding. This being base Pickle and not his like evolution form where he's like showing like the T-Rex scar, which is a durability amp versus guy who just dies to bullets. Or characters like Oliva just tanking a shotgun blast, and even though he's bleeding, like it just didn't pierce his muscle.
We've seen dudes get their face ripped off, shot up, blown up. Biscuit can actually like dodge bullets with it, like he's saying right here. Not dodge bullets, but just absorb a whole shotgun or whatnot. It's crazy. I mean, I think there was even one point of whatnot where someone like tried to stab Biscuit and it wouldn't even pierce his skin.
Muscles. Like he's still bleeding, but it just didn't penetrate his muscles in any deep capacity. So from a speed perspective, again, unless you're taking like Mr. Saiyans higher end durability and, you know, speed feats off Kid Buu and Perfect Cell, he's kind of coming in lacking versus the Bakiverse. He's gonna be a little slower, not really able to damage them that well. And you could argue like, okay, maybe I'm like kind of being disingenuous to Mr. Satan, like Baki universe has anti-feats too, like Yujiro getting hit with like tranquilizers. Well, the thing you need to understand is that characters like Yujiro are just noted to be improving every day and growing stronger. So even if you took that feat at face value, current Yujiro just wouldn't scale to it. It'd be like taking, Saiyan Saga Goku and comparing that to like Frieza Saga Goku and using his feats there over there. Like it obviously wouldn't make sense, as that's a stronger version of the character. And Yujiro being able to stay the pinnacle of his verse by light years, with every character undergoing constant improvement themselves, just like the Z fighters. Again, pretty compelling stuff. What about Mr. Saiyan's techniques? Does he really have anything that would be threatening in this universe?
No.
Not really is the answer. He has a few.
No. He'd get out there. He'll probably land a lucky punch or two. But it just seems like he just knows like basic like karate. He's like, putting labels in terms, it's kind of like a Steven Seagal type. Like you're just a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying?
Notable techniques mentioned in Daizenshu. He has the dynamite kick, a technique where Mr. Satan dashes forward and nails his opponent with an intense jump kick. The Satan punch, it's his signature move, which is noted to be an ordinary punch, preceded by him like shouting Satan punch. The dynamic mess him up punch, he starts the attack by stepping far back, then rushing his opponent as fast as he can, directly punching his opponent right between their eyes. Nothing here, like noted, is anything threatening to the Bakiverse, which, barring the stat stuff, if you are in a relative range to characters like Yujiro, Baki, Pickle, high tiers, or even like a lot of mid tiers, it just doesn't really work, because this is a verse where like every martial art is shown. You have characters like Yujiro who can just visually slow down every attack to like as slow as he wants, or the use of durability negating moves like the Benda or Whip Strike that can be used on characters with even higher durability. You have characters constantly refining fighting styles like Muhammad Ali Jr. refining his father's style and pretty much perfecting it, along with characters like Yujiro who know like every martial art, even like ones that aren't as publicly known. Characters like Baki and Yujiro can just copy martial arts after seeing them once or after a very short time. This kind of extends to Pickle as well. Each character pretty much has like a unique fighting style. Characters like Kakukaya who have decades upon decades of martial arts experience. Characters like Jack Hanma who like created a new fighting style like based around biting. So these characters have all these like different ways of fighting. Like I would not be able to sit here and go through each martial art that's presented in Baki or each technique, as I would be sitting here all day. But the stuff Mr. Saiyan has is just not going to.
It's crazy that you say that, because like if I would even, because like when I started watching this video, I wasn't even thinking about like, okay, is there even a chance for Hercule? If like the first thing somebody would just said, no, they're fighting styles, and I'd have been like, yep, you're right. He's not beating nobody there. He's not beating nobody. Not a soul.
To be that crazy for the verse. He's actually like,
and that's why it was a good thing he started off with speed, because that's the only thing he could probably keep up with is speed wise. But in some cases, but strength, physique, technique, no.
Those characters that would be used to hype up other characters in the show, ironically. Like, oh, this world champion, that's nothing. That's light work. Characters can use attacks like Shiori in order to induce damage reduction. This is the best way I could put it, right? Goku's obviously like a martial arts genius. He's insane. He's cracked. Everybody was kind of going crazy when he was doing the 1-inch punch versus Frieza. It was very cool. That's like a casual thing to a character like Retsukayo. And that's very like, Retsukayo's like a mid-tier Baki character, you know what I'm saying? This isn't really that crazy of a technique. So look at it like this. Mid-tier characters are doing what's perceived as like a high skill by Goku. You know what I'm saying? And how that would compare to Mr.
I just think we just like the 1-inch punch. It's just like one of the most famous punches in the world.
So you have Yujiro and people who scale to him and are comparable. Yujiro being the guy who's just like above the entirety of the U.S. in military technology, potentially even having missiles dropped on him. You have Pickle, who has been argued to have survived the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs. There are just a lot of crazier arguments you could generally make for Baki that are a bit more consistent. And again, I didn't even address like demon back multipliers or how a lot of characters just have like stronger forms or anything to that degree. So just pretty standard stuff for Bakiverse. So does Yujiro solo Baki? No, not really.
No,
his stats,
not even
again,
close.
off of like the outliers, doesn't really give him any edge, and his techniques are just lackluster in general. That's the vid. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.
I recently witnessed two. Hold on now, Pat. I didn't realize I had autoplay on. You know what I'm saying? That's for another time. Anyways, that was a W video, whatnot, man. Hold on, let me go back real quick. Put it back up.
world champion.
Boom. Hit that thumbs up on that or whatnot, man. That was a W video right there. Because it started off like making it seem like he actually had an argument for Hercule to be, you know what I'm saying, in this verse or whatnot. And it's like, if somebody wanted to argue, could Hercule win a fight in the Bakiverse? I could see you trying to make some points. But could he, like I think like Thundergod said or whatnot, he would be somebody that would be like, oh yeah, he's this world champion, he's done this, he's done that or whatnot, but he ain't really fought in them trenches like, you know what I'm saying, like some of the dudes on Baki have, you know what I'm saying, just like meeting up in the middle of the street, we finna fight to the damn near death or whatnot. He's like, oh, he's good within the rules type stuff or whatnot. That's Hercule for you or whatnot. But man, once again, shout out to Thundergod for that one or whatnot. The original video will be down below. Make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff right there. And with that being said, man, I'll see you later.